You guys know I accidentally became a fan of Rhode skincare. Yes, a celebrity skincare brand that shocked me when I tried it out, what was it, last year, a year and a half ago? Really ended up loving their products. Rhode is Hailey Bieber's skincare brand. Well, they recently came out with a new moisturizer, the Intensive Moisture Balm. They were kind enough to send this to me in PR, but today I'm going to review it for you. This video is not sponsored. I'm not required to post anything about the product, but I did see some comments from you guys asking me about it, so let's talk about it. This is a thick, rich balm, and one of the things that excited me the most about seeing that they were coming out with this is that it has one of my favorite ingredients, polyglutamic acid. Polyglutamic acid is a high molecular weight amino acid polymer that is really good at helping to improve water content in your skin. It is a hydrating ingredient. It also has some film forming properties to it, which may allow it to help in reducing water loss from the skin. I find that this ingredient is just simply underrated, and some people wonder, how does it compare to hyaluronic acid? It actually is complementary to hyaluronic acid because both help to improve water content in the skin. Not only does it impart better moisture retention for my skin, but I see an improvement in elasticity, suppleness, smoothness of the skin. It's really an excellent ingredient, difficult to come by. My understanding, although I'm not a cosmetic formulator, is that it is a more expensive ingredient, so maybe that is why we don't come across it too often. Now, this particular balm, in addition to polyglutamic acid, it also has hyaluronic acid, a few different forms of hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid helps to improve water content as well, and depending on the size, that may affect the depth of penetration. You really have a set of ingredients here that are going to offer deep hydration, improved water content. When you improve the water content in your skin, it naturally will exfoliate more efficiently because the enzymes that guide the maturation processes of the epidermis and natural turnover require water to function. When water content drops and the skin becomes dry, that stuff slows down, and that's what leads to flake formation, dry, rough skin texture. So simply by using hydrating moisturizers, you can help get that back on track. So in a sense, your moisturizer is low-key exfoliating without actively getting in there and dissolving glue between sticky skin cells or mechanically scraping off dead, dry skin. It's a bit of a process. It takes time. You have to be patient, but with consistent use, you'll notice smoother skin when using moisturizers in general because they help to improve water content. And these ingredients specifically are hydrating. They really help with retaining water in the skin. This has an interesting butter, marmua seed butter, which helps to reduce water loss as well and has an emollient property to it as well that helps to soften dry, rough skin. And this new balm has ceramides. Now, ceramides are lipids naturally found in skin's outermost layer. They can decline in production with age, which lends itself to more water loss from the skin, dryness, increased susceptibility to irritation. Some people, such as myself, have skin conditions, namely atopic dermatitis, where they have maybe lower ceramide levels in the skin and they're more vulnerable to water loss. And there's some support for using ceramides topically in your moisturizing products for helping the skin to produce its own ceramides, as well as natural moisturizing factors, which are natural parts of our skin barrier that work to improve water content. I also noticed that this has two peptides, palmitoyl tetrapeptide 10 and palmitoyl tripeptide 8. Now, peptides can help in terms of moisturizers because they do help with improving water retention. They are hygroscopic to a certain degree, and they are thought of as skin conditioning ingredients. Now, this is marketed as fragrance-free, but I will say it does have this almost peppery aroma to it. Now, what is this like to actually use? It is a rich balm. It goes on like a balm. Balms are often thicker moisturizers, thicker than a cream, a bit stiffer, and that is exactly what this is. So examples of balms include a diaper rash cream or the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast balm. These go on, and as you're spreading them on the skin, they're a lot stiffer. They want to lie down on the skin very quickly. They don't glide over the skin super efficiently, but they're really occlusive in reducing transepidermal water loss. And that's really what this product is like. It does not glide on the skin very easily. In fact, it almost requires a little bit of effort to spread it on the skin. If you are putting it on to damp skin, you're going to get a little bit of resistance as you try and spread it. You might even notice it a little clumpy if you've got drops of water on your skin. It does not play well with excess water on the skin surface. And that can be the case with a lot of balms. They don't really go over damp skin as well as, say, a moisturizer. I feel as though this could use maybe a little bit of dimethicone just to make it slide and slip a little bit more efficiently. One of the things I noticed first when using this is that not only does it have that peppery aroma, but once you spread it on the skin looks really glossy, really shiny. Now, this product specifically says you can use it on the face, and you can use it as a face balm, something you might want to try out come winter if you deal with windburn, chapped skin, raw red skin. Maybe you unfortunately got a cold, you've been blowing your nose a lot and your nose is raw and red. You might want to put a little of this type of product to that area to help facilitate healing and barrier recovery. But it is really, really shiny. So if you use this, expect to look a little glossy, a little dewy, a little glistening, a little almost greasy, shiny. It takes a little bit of time for it to really sink in. When I was first using it, I applied this at night, and when I was first using it, I thought, I wonder if tomorrow, when I happen to scratch my leg at some point throughout the day, am I gonna get moisturizer crud up under my nails? Surprise, surprise, I did not. So it does sink down into the skin nicely and doesn't leave that kind of cruddy film on the skin surface. But it does feel very balmy, very filmy, very thick. And like I said, it's a little challenging to spread efficiently on the skin surface. But ultimately, after using it for a week at this point, both on my body and on my face, it does do a good job moisturizing the skin, reducing transepidermal water loss. It's also very good at lubricating the skin surface and reducing external friction, which ultimately can further compromise barrier integrity. If you're someone who deals with redness, irritation under the arms, maybe the sides here from sweat, from running, from working out, this would be a great option to apply in that area to lubricate the skin and cut down on chafing and irritation. Likewise, it's really good between the inner thighs. It's also good around the ankles if you get a lot of irritation there from, say, friction, walking, running. Maybe you wear a particular type of shoe that tends to rub in that area, sandals, strappy high heels. This is great to use to cut down on that irritation from that friction and from pressure from shoe straps. It's a decently sized bottle. I think if you're using it strategically to just certain areas as a skin protectant, it will go a long way. However, if you're using it more as an all-over body moisturizer, like for example, it has the eczema seal of approval on it, but if you're someone with eczema, with atopic dermatitis, and you try and use this as your go-to all-over body moisturizer, you're gonna go through it a lot more quickly. It may not be a great value for you. So think about that. Y'all know I use a lot of moisturizer. I go through a lot of moisturizer. It helps with my atopic dermatitis, and I use it, to pretty much all surface areas. Me using a product like this will get very expensive on the regular. However, me using a product like this to cut down on chafing and irritation in strategic locations, or to help heal raw, red, rashy skin on the face due to an impaired barrier from maybe environmental aggressors or from a product that was irritating to my skin, this would actually end up being a great value. And I wanted to point out, neck skin is very delicate, prone to irritation, friction from your scars, a turtleneck, or maybe your skincare products get there like your retinoid or your chemical exfoliant, and you develop a lot of irritation. This is a great product for helping to heal that, to helping reduce that friction that leads to irritation, and also to help limit penetration of things to that delicate skin that would otherwise be irritating. And we are in the midst of frequent hand washing season to prevent the transmission of colds and flus, and with that comes an increased tendency to develop dry, cracked hands, flares of hand eczema. A thick, rich balm like this, especially if you apply it at night before bed, under gloves, can really help heal the skin barrier from that, as well as help to limit penetration of things that are increasingly irritating to that compromised barrier, which includes sweat, water. It's great and very helpful for the skin folds around the nails, which can become compromised, allowing for water to get up under there and compromise nail growth, leading to brittle nails. So all around great as a hand moisturizer. It's just very thick and greasy, so you have to be aware of that when touching screens, but it's nice. per unit. It is not that out of the realm of what is considered reasonable for this type of product formulation. All right, guys, we are losing some natural light, which means we're gonna get a lot of rain. Speaking of hydration and dewiness, woohoo, getting over a dry spell here, which is great for the grass and for all of the pollen that wants to stick to everything. Let's rinse it all away. I do think this is a really good product. It did not disappoint. Is it my holy grail? No. But I think they did a good job with it. And I think per unit price point wise, it is not unreasonable, especially if you're using it really as a healing balm for irritation prone skin, not necessarily relying on it solely as like your all over body moisturizer on a regular basis. All right, y'all. I hope this video was informative, helps you understand this new product. Thank you, Rhode, for sending it to me. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.